Hi guys, I'm Deb. 好久不见. Classic Mandarin. Today, I'm going to show you the screen printing process from start to finish. I've been making silk screens and printing either directly onto my clay or onto newsprint and then transferring onto my clay. People think of silk screening designs onto t-shirts or tote bags, but it can also be used for ceramics. Look at these great things that I've made. Keep watching to learn how to make your own screens. I knew I wanted to make a lot of screens, so I thought the most economical way was to make them myself. I'm gonna do everything from scratch, and I'm gonna show you that in a minute. But first, this just in from the New York Post. The Times? This just in from the New York Times. Beep, 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 beep. Don't eat cicadas if you are allergic to shellfish. So remember, if you're not allergic to shellfish, keep eating cicadas as normal. Speaking of food, do you all remember the cannibal cop? I feel like I can't even make a joke about my delicious-looking baby anymore. Thanks a lot. In today's Lost at Sea, who do we have? Oh. Andy Garcia and Ron Perlman? That's not his name. Ron who? Ron.
The name Ron will be like the new little secret inside joke for bad sex, you know? How was your shag? Oh, I got Ron. You Ron me. It was terrible.
Ron Silver. Yes, Ron Silver. Woo. Ron Silver.
Nicole Kidman! Hugh Jackman!
Ron Silver.
Open smile.
Ron Silver. Poor man's Andy Garcia. They look so similar, yet. Ron Silver, no. No offense. I mean, you're fine. You just know Andy Garcia, but you look like him. Thrown overboard. Lost at sea. What? No. I did not know that Ron Silver died. I am sorry. I am sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, let me show you how I make the screens. I get this wood from Home Depot. I make 2 screens from each 8-foot piece of wood. I glue the wood and clamp it for about 20 minutes and then secure it with this nail gun that mysteriously appeared in my closet.
This was in my closet, and my husband says it's not his, and I don't remember it ever being mine, but...
Even though this is pressure-treated wood and should be able to withstand a lot of water, I still polyurethane the frames. I found this fabric on AliExpress for 90 cents a yard. 90 cents! Really pull the mesh as taut as you can as you staple the fabric down. This was the concrete block that started my obsession with screens. This is a drawing I based off of that, and then here's the Illustrator file I created from the drawing. Make sure you get transparency paper that specifically fits your printer. I've seen this from $9 to $60, so make sure you shop around. I made the bathroom into a dark room by covering the window with a black garbage bag and covered the door in some old blackout curtain fabric. This clip-on light is perfect for my darkroom bulb. thumbtacks in the corners so that when I dry the screen face down, the mesh is protected. The process is a mess, so try and cover all surfaces. I pour plenty of emulsion in my scooper, place it against the screen, I slide the scoop all the way up the screen. I scrape up any excess before flipping the screen over and repeating the process. The emulsion will wash out of anything while it's still wet, so clean up before it dries on your clothing and you're good to go. These screens will dry in about 20 minutes with the fans blowing on them. Make sure anything with emulsion on them is protected from light. I keep my unexposed screens in a dark box until I'm ready to use them. This 10-watt LED light exposes my screens in only 20 seconds. I built this laundry drying rack-inspired X to suspend the light above my screen temporarily. The transparency goes on top of the screen and then a heavy piece of glass to hold the transparency in place. I have this awesome darkroom timer. I program in 20 seconds and when the time is up, the LED shuts off and the safe light goes back on. I wash the screen off in the shower and then bring it to the terrace to make sure all the emulsion that should be gone is gone. This tape is stretchy and waterproof, and I put it both inside and outside my screens. I use speedball underglazes and regular old newsprint. I use my rib to make sure I ink up the paper a lot. When I'm ready to use the prints, I paint slip on them, or in this case, white underglaze. The slip or underglaze will look shiny when wet. Wait for the shine to go away. I use my knife or rib to grab a corner and pick up my print and then place it ink side down onto my clay. If you found a little bit didn't transfer, just place the paper back down and rub those spots. Here's a little tray I made. Missed a spot. Land shark.
Who is it?
Land shark.
The first screen I ever made was based off of this concrete block. Down the street from my apartment, there's this old age home, and they have these Art Deco blocks, and they are beautiful. It's mesmerizing. I mean, why aren't all concrete blocks like this? Why are most concrete blocks just a concrete block? This is beautiful. And almost every other print has been based off of that first print. It's pretty cool. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, ask them below and I will hopefully know the answer. I will link to my Etsy page. I will link to all the products that I use down below. And that's it. Stay safe, get vaccinated, wear your mask indoors, and I'll see you next time. Today's Lost in Space. Well, Lost in Space. Lost in Space, that's something different. Today's...